Alrighty guys, what's going on everybody? Welcome back here to another live stream, my friends. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. We got ourselves another update here on the table regarding the tropics, my friends. The storm is now a hurricane. Literally just became a hurricane like last update, like within the last hour. So she is now officially a Category 1 storm. We can kind of see where the eye is, just off of, or where the eye would be, the core of the storm, anyways, just off of Texas here. Now, the storm, obviously we have hurricane warnings and stuff like that now in effect for like southern Louisiana, tropical storm warnings here in the yellow. Let's go ahead and load up some of these towns here, so we can kind of show you guys where all of this is at, but... Anyways, welcome people. Hope everyone's doing good. We got Braven, we got Railfan, we have Tabletop, we have Cool, we have Ponderosa, and Maranatha, I think your name is. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I'm terrible for names. If you guys have been around here for a while, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyways, so, but yeah, we got hurricane warnings in effect out there. This includes areas near like Morgan City. Baton Rouge is actually under a hurricane warning. Tropical storm warnings in effect for New Orleans. What's up, Kamer? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Corey? Welcome, welcome. I know my pronunciation's bad. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. I know it's terrible. But anyways, yeah, tropical storm warnings in effect for New Orleans, Baton Rouge here. We have a hurricane warning in effect as well. Got some of those tropical storm warnings actually digging their way up into southern Mississippi. Southern Mississippi, out there towards like Macomb and like Liberty, Tylertown, Centerville, see Gloucester, Woodville. Some of those areas are in a tropical storm warning as well. Also Gulfport, Mississippi, and even Mobile is under a tropical storm warning for the storm here. Now, here's the thing, y'all. We're going to get tornadoes being a concern out of this event here. So not only is it going to be like, hurricane impacts, hurricane conditions, but you're going to get like tornadic activity as well, a lot of flooding, storm surge. We're talking like 5 to 10 foot of storm surge now. We'll get into that here in a minute. What's up, SPC? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Corey? Saying I'm in Laurel, Mississippi. Gotcha. Let's see. Laurel, Mississippi. Oh, I see where Laurel's at. You, my friend, are actually outside of the watches. I think you should be good because you're relatively inland and you're relatively far to the northeast of where the landfall is going to be. I think you'll be fine. However, you still could probably get a lot of rain out of it. Actually, we'll check on the map here in a minute. But first of all, let's go ahead and load up our projected track here. Let's go ahead and get that up. So as of right now, last update, Like I mentioned, she's a Cat 1 right now, sustained of 75. This says gusting up to 75. I feel like we're gusting a little higher than 75, but central low down to 982 millibars. Now, as we approach our way, look at this. As we approach our way tomorrow morning, 2 a.m. Eastern, 1 Central. So right at that time tomorrow morning, we're going to have sustained winds of still around 75. We're gusting up to 90 at this point here. And then, of course, as we work our way down into like 2 p.m. tomorrow, so like tomorrow afternoon, we're expecting landfall tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. So we will be live for that. But yeah, like 2 p.m. here, 90-mile-an-hour sustained winds and gusts up to 115 upon landfall. That'll, like I said, once again, it'll be tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern time, which will be 1 Central. The storm will just be to the south here of, like, let's see here, Gina Reddy. Once again, names is not my strong suit. We'll just say, like, near Morgan City, just southwest of Morgan City. Let's do a little measurement here. Let's see. So at that point, it'll be about 75 miles southwest of Morgan City, right around 2 p.m. tomorrow. Let's see. Do I have hurricane warnings on my automatic alerts? No, we do not. No, those ones are just for tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings. Sounds good. See you in a little bit. Let's see. We in Texas are receiving water already. Yeah. We'll actually hop back. We'll hop back to the radar here. You can actually see. Well, a lot of the precip is actually off the coast here, quite a ways. I mean, if we play this in motion, you can obviously see there's the core. There's the storm right now. Now it does not have an eye currently. If we take a look at the sat, you can see that the storm is. It's actually been kind of struggling. Last night and this morning, it's not looking the best. But now it looks like it's starting to kind of pick up a little bit. We just had a recent convective burst there towards the center, which is showing some signs of strengthening, and that's probably why we just saw the upgrade to a Cat 1 was because probably that burst pushed us over tropical storm force. Anyways, but yeah, if you look over here, there's a lot of dry air that's in place across Texas, and this is actually going to get sucked into the storm, as we're going to see on the models here in a little bit. That's going to get sucked into the storm as we make landfall in Louisiana. Now, that's going to be good news. That actually might limit overall impact. Like regarding the system here, it might like totally, completely, kind of stunt its strengthening and kind of like prevent it from like overkill strengthening per se. But like I mentioned, we'll definitely be keeping a close eye on this storm here over the next day or two. Like I said, obviously today we're doing the update until 9. So I'm shooting to go live until 9. But then, of course, tomorrow, still not sure like what time I'm going to go live for landfall, because the models here, we'll go ahead and hop over to the models now. Because the models, I'll bring you all over here, regarding like the timing of landfall, the latest GFS shows like 8 p.m. You can kind of see there, the latest GFS is the 18 Zulu that just came out not too long ago. But yeah, the 18 Zulu GFS shows like that central low down in the upper 970s. Right now, like, didn't I say it's like in the 980s? It's currently at 982 millibars. According to GFS, making landfall at 979. At this time being, though, like we mentioned, if we take a look at the humidity, you can see on the bottom part of the storm there, you see how there's a lot of brown on the bottom there. That's representing dry air. So we have a lot of dry air positioned over Texas. And so all that dry air is going to kind of get sucked into the bottom quadrant of the storm, or the bottom half of the storm. That's going to basically prevent thunderstorms from happening in that southern side, keeping it dry, which, if you have thunderstorms only on one half of the storm, that's going to, rapidly disorganize that system. So the dry air is not a good thing for the storm at all. But anyway, so this model shows right around 8 p.m. tomorrow evening for landfall. Euro, ECMWF, actually fairly in sync. I ain't gonna lie. Look at that. Fairly in sync. This one shows landfall maybe a little later. I'd say more towards like 10 o'clock p.m., maybe 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern, which would be like 9 or 10 Central Time. But look at that. Pressure down in the 978, 979. I tell you what, man. GFS and Euro, they're pretty in sync. I ain't gonna lie. Look at that. Look how similar they are. So there's GFS showing central low of 979 millibars making landfall, and then look at the Euro. I mean, you can see just how like close they are, both in pressure and just relative location. Plus, with that dry air, both the models do suggest that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to start pulling in some dry air, which is going to be a bit of a problem. Then you got models like CMC. This one is rapidly underdoing it, as you can tell. This one has a central low down in like the 990s, like lower 990s. So definitely far off. A good 10 millibars difference between the main two models. So this one's kind of an outcast per se. I think this might cause another tornado outbreak like Burl did. I mean, yeah, there will definitely likely be quite a few tornadoes with the system, because you got that veering wind shear on the right-hand side of the system, like we mentioned before. The right-hand side of a low-pressure system and tropical system is the dirty side, because that's where the conditions are favorable for tornadoes, because you have your strongest wind shear, you have yourself... like I said, your most instability, a lot of moisture, stuff like that. All of that heavy activity, or a lot of the mixing is in the right-hand side. Now, the left-hand side, you really don't get tornadoes. It's more the right-hand side where you do. But as that low kind of, digs its way up into the country, I would not be surprised if we did have some, like, tornadic activity across, like, portions of the South. Maybe even into Tennessee. We'll have to see. But anywho, yeah, but that's kind of what CMC. This model, like I think this one's underdoing it quite a bit. I mean, because this one shows the pressure. I mean, the pressure is already lower than what this model is suggesting. I mean, this model is showing like already 990s. We're at 983 right now. So I mean, we're already way lower pressure than this model is suggesting. So this is what we call an outcast. We can just throw that model away. Icon. Everybody loves Icon. So this one's a fair take, I believe. I really do think this is a fair take. This one shows the pressure down to 976. Not too far off from GFS or Euro. Both the GFS and the European ECMWF both suggested that the storm here would be in around the mid 970, maybe upper kind of mid 970 millibar range with pressure here. This one actually shows an early landfall. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Look, this model shows like 5 p.m. Having landfall. Majority of the models kind of show anywhere from like 8 to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, roughly. Maybe even later. Who knows? We'll still kind of narrow that down. We'll keep an eye on the timing, of course. But like I said, I do want to go live. I do plan on going live. My sleep schedule's been a little messed up lately, but I think I'll be good because I've been waking up really late. So at least I'll be energized for the landfall stream. Let's see. Is it possible for New York? Nah, probably not. This storm is not going to go up in that direction. It's actually going to shoot up into the Midwest. I'm really curious about the potential blob off the east coast of North Carolina and South Carolina showing up on the models. What system? Let's see. GFS. Let's actually look at the long range here. Oh, this guy here. Has it been consistent? Not really. Maybe a little. I wouldn't let it get to you. It's even then, pressure that low is just a normal low. That's like a depression status, if that. No, it's certainly nothing to worry about, my friend. You should be good. Let's see. How have you been? Long time no see. Hope you're doing good, my friend. Saying, see, I live back in Kentucky now. Gotcha. I live in Florida. I've been here for over a year now, or actually, next month will be a year since I moved down here. Crazy how time flies, man. But I'm glad to have you here. Hope you're doing good, my friend. Anyways, but yeah, tabletop, don't worry about that one. That's, for now at least, if it becomes a problem, then we'll obviously talk about it. But, I mean, does Euro even really talk about it? Yeah, I mean, I guess Euro does. Yeah, I mean, we'll watch it. We'll see. There's still a bit of uncertainty, and I still want to see some more data on the storm. I want to see more consistent runs. Before we make assumptions here, because we don't want to jump the gun and say, oh my god, it's gonna be a big problem right off the bat. No, we don't want to assume that. Not to mention that's a week away. That's still 7 days away from now. So, it's a little ways away. Will Arkansas get any effects? Yes. Arkansas will feel some of the effects from the storm here. can actually see a lot of the eastern side more specifically. Let's actually bring up the here. I'm gonna bring the oh my goodness. Of course it did. I'm gonna bring up. It's so dark in my room now. Look how dark it is. I gotta pull up my stuff again. Well, what I was saying is that we're gonna pull up the other stuff here. I hate it when my computer does that. It just like drops everything I'm doing. But yeah, let's hop over to NHC. We're gonna look at the latest guidance, like rainfall and stuff like that. What about Waynesboro, Mississippi? Let's see. Waynesboro, Mississippi. Like I said, I know Mississippi's getting hit pretty good. South side, more specifically. But let me pull up Waynesboro just to kind of check your area and see what's going on. Here we go. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, so you're up there kind of on the southeastern side. You're actually not in any watches or anything like that. There's a tropical storm watch to your south for the storm here. Honestly, you'll be fine. You'll be fine, honestly. Let's go ahead and hop back over here, though. I want to look at like rainfall and stuff. So, like I mentioned, if you guys are just tuning in, she's officially a hurricane now. Here's the latest projections with rainfall. Now, Terry, when it comes to your rainfall totals, you're in this region here. You can see the grid there in the dark green showing around 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. This is an official product from the Weather Prediction Center. So, but yeah, at the landfall point, we could see a good 8 to 12 inches, up to I'd even say locally higher potentially. This is just mainstream rainfall accumulations. I mean, there will likely be some higher accumulations, with some of those bands. Intense rainfall rates and stuff like that will be pretty much certain with this storm here. But and of course, off the coast here, you can see we have a little sliver of 12 to 16 inches of rain. But that's obviously going to be falling right back into the water. That's not going to be an issue for those areas. But yeah, obviously, still a pretty good streak of moisture. Rainfall totals. Look at that. Here in the yellow, 4 to 6 inches going all the way up near Memphis. So, that is something that we will need to monitor closely. Like I mentioned, 4 to 6 inches of rain. It still is a pretty good, solid amount of rainfall. What's up, Overbuilt? Hope you're doing good, my friend. What's up, Brad? See, will there be a 10% tornado risk? SIG tornado parameters look pretty gnarly. Let's see what NHC has right now. Or, sorry, SPC. I've I've been so caught up on the Hurricane Center. So let's see. Today we got a little marginal, so we've got a little 2% TOR. We're going to start feeling those effects pretty late. Tomorrow, though, is whenever we're going to start really feeling it. Obviously, tomorrow is the day of landfall. So tomorrow we got a 5% risk across areas near New Orleans, Mobile, Alabama, Gulfport, Mississippi. Those areas out there, and even Pensacola too is included. There in that 5% region, and of course we have the 2% going a little higher up to the north here. Can't forget about that little marginal up here in the Pacific Northwest. Not going to do much. No tornadoes, though, just a little bit of wind and a little bit of hail, but including the tropical system. Tropical systems are relatively warm systems. They don't really hold too much hail threat. Then we dig our way into Thursday. We got a marginal as of now. Probably a continuation of the tornado threat here into Thursday for Alabama and Panhandle, Florida. So other than that, that's that. Now, 10%, we're not at 10% yet. If the SPC decides to do that, then they're going to do it. But, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter right now. If it's a 5 or a 10%, what matters is that we're aware of the tornado probability. And we'll just see what they do. Obviously, I'm not SPC. I can't tell you, yes, they will do this. Or, no, they will not do this. I don't know. I can't tell you because I don't work there. But I can tell you that there will, regardless, be a tornado threat. And there will be potential for tornadoes. No problem, Terry. No problem. What's up, Brandy? Hope you're doing good. See, mainly rain. Yeah, for a lot of the interior portions, it's going to be mostly just a lot of rain. Like I mentioned, even out there towards Kentucky, Bowling Green, you can't see it on there, but Bowling Green, could see a good 2 to 4 inches. Southern Indiana could peak 2 to 4 inches or so. Pretty good amount. rainfall even in there. I mean, 2 to 4 inches of rain is not a low amount of rain. It's a pretty solid amount. Plus, like I mentioned, some of these other areas that are, closer to that landfall point there, which is in a good 6 to 8 inches in this orange shade right here, and in the dark orange, it's like 8 to 12. Right at that landfall point. So there's gonna be a lot of water involved. And speaking of water, here is the storm surge. I almost said precipitation. This is the storm surge. So we are expecting around 5 to 10 foot of storm surge. So basically 5 to 10 foot water above sea level moving inland. And the reason, if y'all don't know what storm surge is, basically just swelling of water. So basically, you have your low pressure system, which the core of the storm is right here. We'll just use for an example. So these things spin counterclockwise, which basically is, all the winds are rushing towards the coastline and kind of pushing that water inland. So the storms are so strong that they literally push that water against the coast here. So, that's what we need to look out there for. But yeah, we're talking a good 5 to 10 foot of storm surge. That's no low amount. That's a pretty bad amount of storm surge. A lot of the coast is going to be like flooded like crazy. Like I mentioned, in previous live streams, covering the system. Louisiana's not known very well for handling water too well. Louisiana has a big problem. Even out there towards, some of the areas along like the southeastern side of Louisiana's coast, 2 to 4 inches, 2 to 4 foot of storm surge, 3 to 5 foot, along like Gulfport, Mobile Bay, 2 to 4 foot even. I mean, even a little bit out there in the Panhandle, like 1 to 2 foot possible. So, but yeah, by far the heaviest is going to be where that landfall is expected. Where that inner eye wall kind of rolls against the land there. That's where we're going to have some of the heaviest storm surge. Yes, John, it is now a hurricane. It is a Category 1 sustained winds of 75, pressure down to 983 millibars. It literally just became a hurricane like an hour ago. So that's brand new news. I live in Western Kentucky by Paducah. Gotcha. So yeah, Paducah would see. Let's see. I gotta remember where Paducah is. I haven't. Where's Paducah? Oh, okay. Okay, that's right. Yeah, Paducah's up here. So the storm's gonna go near you. Actually, you're probably gonna see 2 to 4 inches. Yeah, you're kind of right in this area here. 2 to 4 inches of rain is, you're kind of in the middle of all that. Let's see. Any storms or just rain for Central Illinois? Just a little bit of rain as of now. Nothing big. We were looking at this the other day, and it looked like the models were kind of, like the instability and stuff like that kind of dies out pretty early on. If we take a look here at the models, back over here again, you can see your instability, how, we have all that energy kind of, digging its way up into like Alabama and stuff. There's your low, there's your central low right here. And so basically, that the strong winds are kind of pulling up a lot of instability here into like Alabama and like the Panhandle, Florida for basically late Thursday. Then of course you can see as that low continues moving up north, well, there might be traces of amounts of instability. Maybe towards the Ohio Valley. Let's look at the NAM a little more. Okay, yeah, so NAM does show maybe a little bit of instability available. There would still be some strong wind shear in the atmosphere here, so... No, I mean, maybe. Maybe. We'll have to see. Yeah, this model doesn't go out as far, but yeah, there's your low right here. Yeah, you can see a little bit of instability kind of creeping up there. Do I think there'll be any winds or anything like that, like gusts? So by the time the storm gets over there, it's going to be fairly weak. 25 mile an hour winds, gusting up to 35. So nothing out of the ordinary, nothing more than just a normal storm. Honestly, it'll be less intimidating than a normal thunderstorm, more than likely. So I mean, it'll get a little windy, more than likely, but it won't be anything like excessive. No, yeah, a lot of those winds are going to die out as, storms roll inland. They really slow down because they have a lot of drag. Once they go over land, there's a lot of drag on the bottom part of the storm, which just kind of really starts allowing the storm to kind of slug its way through, and just kind of dies out. But anyways, no, you'll be fine. Yeah, your main thing is just looking out for flooding. If you're in an area that's prone to flooding out there in like Kentucky, where you're at, Paducah, yeah, yeah, keep an eye out there for that because, 2 to 4 inches can still cause flooding. And speaking of flooding, let me actually hop you guys over here. I do want to take a look at the outlook for flooding real quickly. I'm sure it's not anything too friendly. We got a slight risk out there for today across like New Orleans. Tomorrow is probably the big day. Yep. Look at that big old moderate risk for flooding. Goodness. Big old moderate. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, let's see, Gulfport, Hattiesburg, Jackson barely making it, but yeah, Jackson's in a moderate there for flooding tomorrow. Day 3, that flooding threat does continue, so Paducah is included for day 3 flooding threat. This will be for Thursday? Right, today's Tuesday. I'm not mistaken. Yes, today's Tuesday. So, that means, yes, Thursday. Thursday will be the big day for you. Let's see here. Shrimpy, what's up? So I answered my question with your response. We have flooded before. Had apartments had 2 feet of water. So did some business. Oh, wow. That is crazy. Yeah, so like I mentioned, Western Kentucky will see flooding out of this. Probably mostly Wednesday, Thursday. Probably mostly Thursday, actually. Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday, and tomorrow's going to be like the big day for the South. But yeah, it's not going to reach up to you till like probably Thursday. And like I mentioned here with the graphics from the WPC, 2 to 4 inches of rainfall is expected, generally across like central and western Kentucky. So, I mean, if you're definitely in a flood-prone area, there's some places that are not. If you're on a hill, it's not really as much of a problem. For places who's like in a valley or in a little depression, that would be a bit of a problem. But, yeah, so, keep an eye on it. Obviously your place very well, and so you know how well it handles water. So just know there's a good amount of water coming in. Let's see here. Anyways, but like I said, y'all, if you have any questions about any of this, please feel free to let me know. Let's hop over to wind speed probability. So here you go. So obviously those probabilities have, drastically increased. Hurricane force wind probabilities, you can see, are obviously increasing across Louisiana here as of now. The max probability is like 30-40%, but it's going to happen. I mean, it's just going to be increasing from here on out. I don't really like using this, honestly, because there's already hurricane force winds going on here, and then, the max probability on this chart right now is 60 to 70%, which, nah. I mean, at this point, it's already doing it. This hasn't updated yet. These are our previous tropical storm force winds here that have happened. You can kind of see it kind of hit like Mexico there a little bit, but there you go. As of now, you can see a little red dot there. So that's our current wind field for hurricane force winds. And once again, the red area here throughout like pretty much all of bottom Louisiana. This is all hurricane warnings. Blue is tropical storm warnings, and the yellow, or sorry, that's yellow, Andrew. That's definitely yellow. Pink is hurricane watches. Gosh, man, I can't even say my own right colors this time. Man, I'm just losing it, aren't I? Anyways, but yeah, like I mentioned, for the people, the big question is what category? It's going to be a Cat 1. Maybe Cat 2, actually. It's close. I mean, we're at 90 sustained. If it's at 95 or greater, it'll be a Cat 2. So it's close. It's close. Honestly, I think it will be a low-end Cat 2 at landfall. Either that or, I don't know. It's really hard to tell because, the storm's actually probably going to lose a little bit of strength as it approaches Louisiana because there's two things happening here. First of all, we have a lot of strong upper-level winds, which will start to get a hold of the system and kind of, choke it out, per se. Same thing with the dry air. There's going to be quite a bit of dry air getting into the storm as well. It's close, though. Like I mentioned, it's close. It's like upper Category 1, lower Cat 2 is where we're going to stand with the storm here. Regardless, still lots of heavy concerns and lots of heavy impacts. We have very dense red clay soil. Oh, gotcha. What's up, Isaac? Hope you're doing good. Is northeastern Illinois safe? Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be good. Yeah, the storm rapidly disintegrates once it rolls in the Midwest here. Yeah, this is mostly just a concern for mostly Mississippi and Louisiana and bits of Alabama. That's kind of like where the main threat is. Some of the flooding continuing up towards the Midwest. Not as much of a wind problem, just rain for most of these areas. Down here, it's basically a mixture of winds and heavy rain and flooding. So, anyways, let's see here. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about with y'all. We're gonna hop back to the models real quickly. This is gonna be a relatively short live stream. Like I said, I gotta prepare for tomorrow and stuff, and plus I got things I gotta do tonight. But like I mentioned, when it comes to the system, we do gotta watch out for tornadic probability. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama will likely include some tornadic activity over the next couple of days. Okay. So just a bit of a heads up as that cyclone rolls inland. Like I mentioned, the eastern side of the storm is where the tornadoes are hosted. That's where you have the instability. That's where you have, the wind shear. That's where you have, the moisture. That's where the most of the stuff is. So that's what we need to look out there for overall. Like I mentioned, models regarding timing tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening at some point. Central load down in the upper 970s is what the models are talking about. So it'll be like upper 970s for the most part. Like I said, right now we're in the low 980s. We're at 983 millibars currently. Sorry, 982. 982. My bad. 982. Not that much big of a difference, but still. Anyways, but yeah, so that's where we stand. So it'll be a little stronger by then. Once again, we're expecting 90 sustained at landfall. That's like high end Cat 1. Let's take a look at these spaghetti models. That's actually something we haven't done today yet. So let's look at those real fast. Yeah, it seems like they've locked on pretty well to like south central Louisiana for landfall. Right in there. Now, regarding the strength, yeah, the middle point has it kind of mid Cat 1, but these are usually, from what I've noticed, these usually kind of underestimate some of the activity. That's just what I've seen. Like what I think, like I mentioned though, this thing is going to be either really, really low Category 2 or upper level Category 1. I think we'll probably be on that side of the scale. Because, it's kind of what we're expecting. No tabletop. But yeah, a lot of the ensembles here too are pretty anchored on like south central, southeastern Louisiana for landfall. And then timing, like we mentioned, it's gonna be sometime tomorrow evening, sometime pretty late from what it looks like. But anyways. But alrighty, you guys. Well, like I said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the live stream here. If there's any questions y'all might have before I roll off here, feel free to throw them down in the chat. Like I mentioned, it's a fairly quick update for today. Just wanted to kind of throw all the information out here for you guys real quick. And like I said, tomorrow we're going to have to do a lot of coverage for you guys for the tropics. I'm going to make sure we have like live cameras and stuff like that we can look at too. So we'll have live views. The good thing about Louisiana is that we do have good live cameras out there. So that is certainly going to be interesting tomorrow. How does the other invest look? Interesting. So we have 93, 92L. 92L. This guy is going to go near the Antilles. Models don't really have it picking up too heavily. That's 92L. That's the current storm here. So I guess, the core, I'm trying to find the central low here. It's somewhere probably in here. I think a lot of our convection's to the north. That one doesn't look insanely concerning. Here's our other one. This is 93L. This one could become something. But look at the models. They're literally all over the place here, dude. They are all over the place. Any major concerns for Jackson, Mississippi? I would keep it out there for gusty winds. Because you can see that the central low is going to go right over Jackson. You're not under any watches. You're going to get a lot of rain, a lot of gusty winds probably. But, at the end of the day, nothing super wild per se. Yeah, a lot of the impacts are just going to be shyly to the south of you. So, how far north do I think the flood watches will go? Well, I mean, if you look at the rainfall map over here, you know, like I said, there's some heavy rain that does go up into, like, you know, Kentucky and Illinois. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some flood watches for some of these areas too. Yeah, I mean, this is probably going to carry up into the Midwest. Probably going to carry up fairly far up into the Midwest here, because I mean, like I mentioned, you know, Memphis there's near that 4 to 6 inch range, so it's pretty solid. But all right, my friends. Well, that's gonna go ahead and wrap up this quick little update. Once again, I appreciate y'all for being here. Like I said, I know this was a little bit lower, a little bit quicker of an update here, but got some things planned for tonight I got to do. But like I said, y'all, please be careful out there. Please be safe. I will try to do a late live stream tonight. I'm gonna try to go live again tonight, actually. We'll see. I'll try to go live again late so we can give y'all another update, probably like a morning early update for people who still kind of questioning the weather. We'll be here, and then of course tomorrow we'll do our main live stream. But alrighty, guys. Once again, thanks for joining. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see ya in the next one. See you later, guys. Take care. Catch ya later on.